Hello, Gun Nation. All right, we will give it a minute or so and let everybody get in. Do a quick roll call. CZ Shadow 2's in here, Scott 79, Dennis Buckner, Dan O'Neill, Guy Comet, Milkman, Americaner. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, I'm still getting over the crud. It's kicking my ass. So y'all will have to bear with me. I think this has been going on like 8 days, and I have gone to the doctor, taken all the medicine. I've been doing everything, and it's still kicking my ass. But I think I am at the end of it. So no poor me. I appreciate everybody's well wishes and everything. A lot of people were messaging me saying get better, and I really appreciate it. But we will press on. And if I cough, I'm sorry. Try to do the best I can. Hey, Pistol Pete, how are you? ND Irish, Dennis, A Dubs. But I appreciate all y'all being on. What I was going to do this evening is we'll kind of talk about SHOT Show. See if y'all had any questions, anything that is exciting you about SHOT Show. I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about and see if there's any interest to y'all. Not necessarily things that I'm totally interested in. I just wanted to see if y'all were. I guess Taurus is going to introduce a 10 millimeter, the TH 10 millimeter. Don't know if y'all saw that and if that's anything that interests you. Um, if so, let me know. Also, ND Irish is saying we'll take 7 to 10 days. Then the hack. Yeah, I mean, this just sucks. It's been really weird for me. I have arthritis. I don't really advertise it, but I've had arthritis since I was 30 years old. And man, this is really attacking my joints hardcore. I mean, like on my knees. I was actually having to squeeze my knees and my forearms and my calves. It was kicking my ass. So, but again, I don't do videos on it. And, I got the vid and all that. I know a lot of people do, but I'm just not that guy. So I'll just tell you what I've been through on the chat if you want to know, because some people have asked. But I was on a thing called a Pearl. It's like a little tiny clear cough drop, taking 3 of those a day. It's for like congestion and stuff like that. I was taking a steroid pack. Um, I even have an inhaler. I didn't really use it though. I mean, I can still breathe. It's just super, super tired. Congestion, feeling like crap. So it is what it is. Hello, Lynn Holt. How are you? But what do y'all think about the Taurus 10 millimeter? Anybody interested in it? Is that something that excites y'all? Also, I wanted to bring this up. Did y'all hear about Carhartt? The jab mandates, were shot down. However, Carhartt, who makes tons of clothing and stuff like that. Y'all have all heard of Carhartt. They're still making their employees take the jab. I think that's crazy. A blue collar company supposedly making all their employees still get the jab, even though it's not mandated. So, I think I only have a couple of Carhartt things. I won't be wearing them anymore. I'll probably be trashing those, or actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just donate them. I'll donate them to a homeless shelter. So, just because I'm pissed off doesn't mean somebody can't stay warm. So I will. I'll pull those out and donate them. So, but hello, Clyde. How are you? Hello, Armsman. How are you? Waiting for the Smith and Wesson Shield Easy and 50 BMG. Yeah, who knows? It's probably coming. Hello, Bald. Bald said he has one Carhartt hoodie, his first and his last one. Yep, Carhartt folded, man. Let's see here. Big J, is FN tarded or just stupid with their new proprietary BHP? BHP. I'm sorry, my brain is fried. I did want to bring up their new high power, if that's probably what you're talking about, running high power. It's not even a true high power. It's a modernized high power. I mean, people are still going to buy it. $13.95. They did put a couple of the old unique kind of touches on it, like where you would put your thumb on the slide. So that's kind of cool, but it does come down a lot easier. But to say it's a true high power, it's just a modernized high power. But apparently it's going to come with, I guess, 2 sets of grips, one wood and one G10. If you want the high power, that's cool. I think they should have made it optics ready. I think we've talked about that before. And maybe they will come out with one later. So who knows? Made an impulse buy based on 1776 or bus review, IWI Masada at local Dunham's for $3.99. Yeah, I've actually shot a Masada. I shot it when it first came out, not with an optic on it. It was Humble Marksman's gun. It actually shoots pretty good. The trigger, it's a nice trigger. It just has a really long reset, but it's something you could definitely shoot through for a combat duty type weapon. I think it's a good option. And to have it come optic ready is also a plus, and the price point's really good. And IWI makes great guns. So, hello, Mike. Hi, how are you? Let's see. Oh, he had some issues? I didn't know he had issues. Hello, Tactical Firearms. How are you, man? But, and then also, excuse me, PSA is coming out with a 5.7 dagger or 5.7 dagger, that 5.7 round. I don't know if y'all are interested in that. Basically somebody did a video on it and said, what do you think about this? Is this something you're interested in? What do you think about 5.7? And I was like, honestly, 5.7 really doesn't do anything for me. I've had one in the past. I had the original FN way back when. And of course, the ammo was not as good as it is now. But I said, honestly, for the cost of ammo, plinking, and things like that, most people aren't going to carry a 5.7. I know some people do, but the average person is probably just going to use it for a plinking type gun. And that's where I said, 22 long rifle is cheaper. You can shoot a lot more of it, on the low. And honestly, it's just as fun, unless you're shooting like bulletproof glass or, bulletproof vest or something. If you're doing some of that kind of testing, I could see the reason in having it. And man, this guy went crazy on my comment. I can't believe you're comparing 5.7 ballistics to 22 LR. What a FUD thing to say. And I said, well, for one, I never compared them. I never said the ballistic coefficient is better on one versus the other. I just said for the cost of the ammo and for what most people do with it, a 22 would serve that purpose. Still has the same kind of recoil. I mean, of course, a 5.7 is more powerful, but it depends on what you're going to use it for. But this guy just went off the deep end. And basically, I was like, hey, I'm not hating on anybody, but if you're highly vested in 5.7 and you think everybody should carry it, that's why it's American. We have choices. So you carry what you want to carry. I'll carry what I want to carry, and life goes on. After that, he shut up. So, but, that's just my 2 cents. I mean, I have personally had 5.7 back when only FN made the ammo. It was not a great defensive round. They didn't think it out very well way back when. I got the original when the FN 5.7 came out in Flat Dark Earth. That's when I bought mine. So, Big Johnson, thoughts on the Eotech pistol dot? I think it's actually a really cool looking dot. I just really wish they would have went with the RMR footprint, but I understand, the Delta Point Pro, and on the Staccatos without a plate, you can use the Delta Point Pro. So, as long as it pans out and everything, I think that's going to be a really nice offering. The Eotechs have been kind of bomb proof in the past. They're holographic sights, and this is their first actual red dot sight. So, or, micro pistol dot. I think it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see one in person. Looks like the window's a little short, but, hey, it gives us more options, and that's always a great thing. So I am excited to see that one. And I do actually have I mean, I could always put it on my Staccato, just take the plate off. I just don't know with it setting directly on the slide if my front sight would have to be changed, the stock front sight, and it very well could. I think it does have to, and I don't know if they gave me one. I can't remember on mine, but you know that, and I do have a gun set up for a Delta Point Pro that I could try one on. And I think the price point's like $500, I think is what they said, but who knows when it comes to the street. It'll probably be a while before it's out. Let's see here. I'll be honest, 5.7 doesn't do much for me. I like to shoot, and paying that price just doesn't make sense. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it is a center fire round versus a 22 LR, rim fire. Of course, I totally get it. It is much faster. It does have more energy, and things like that. But it's kind of like this. For self-defense, I'm going to carry a 9mm. If I want to do some damage, I'm not going to use a 5.7. I'm going to use a 300 blackout or some kind of PDW. That's just my personal opinion. But if you've got that on you, yeah, as long as they come out with some really, really good ammo that'll work well in a 5.7. I've seen some, some tests on it and stuff, and people are like, oh, it's so great, and it's this and this. And I mean, they're shooting it into, gel and stuff, which is a very good media to test. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. If you love that round, I'm not hating on you, but that is what it is. Big Johnson, you sure sound a lot better than last week. That's good. Yeah, I mean, last week I was really bad. Yeah, this is like dizziness. There's all kinds of weird things with this crap. I don't know what the hell China gave me, but the shit sucks. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. Did you see the new Holosun that goes directly on the Glock 45 MOS? No plate necessary. Yes, and also no battery. I guess it's just pulling ambient air or ambient light and then storing it. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool option. It says that it'll stay bright. It says it holds a lot of power, and there's like all kinds of sensors around it, because that is one thing. I've shot some dots where they're auto adjust, and depending on the light, like if you're in a bay and it's dark, but you're shooting out into light, it can make your light go, or your optic go in and out. It can make it do weird stuff. So maybe with the more sensors on it, that's going to help that. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool option. Like I said, anything that is an option for somebody to get into a dot, I'm all for that. Yes, Holosun is setting the bar for new features in the MRTS game. Yes, I agree with that. I just wish Trijicon and stuff would jump on and start, kind of coming out with some new things. And if y'all haven't seen, Primary Arms has a new one that's coming out that kind of like is an SRO now. It's a Primary Arms optic. I don't know if Holosun is making it because it says Primary Arms on it, but it kind of has a round lens, kind of a roundy look. But it looks like kind of a SRO clone. It does have a lifetime warranty on it. I'm very interested in trying that out. They said it should be out later on this year. I think it's going to be a pretty cool option, but I don't know who makes it. But with a lifetime warranty, hell, it might be a really good option. It does have the side loading battery and stuff like that, so we'll see. Let me catch back up real quick. Oh, is it 389? Okay, cool. I turned the auto adjust off right away. This is supposed to be better. Yeah, I don't run anything auto adjust. I turn it instantly to manual adjust. I want control of my dot. And the neat thing is you can actually go up under your shirt and you can press a couple times. You can look down and I can see the dot, to whatever area I'm going in, whether it be a darker area, lighter area. So you can adjust it kind of on the fly. Now it is harder with the Holosun because of the little tiny buttons, but I can do it. So I just kind of adjust accordingly. And like I said, if y'all have any questions or comments from SHOT Show and you want my opinion, please ask away. Clyde, thoughts on this 30 Super Carry? Honestly, I don't see a reason in having it. I talked a little bit about this last week. I think that something between 380 and 9mm is pretty useless in my personal opinion. Now, yes, it does give you 2 more rounds. It's already been confirmed the recoil is exactly the same as a 9mm. By, gosh, I think 3 or 4 people. I think James did it. There were some other people. Ian confirmed it. I just don't see a reason in having it. I think what they should have done is ramped up 9mm ammo to make it more relevant or more plentiful. I'm sorry, which would in turn bring the cost down even more. I think releasing a 30 caliber, or excuse me, a 30 super carry in kind of still an ammo crunch situation. The 30 super carry is not going to be cheap. Ammo is going to be more expensive than 9mm, and it's between a 380 and a 9mm. I just don't see the point in it. I really, really don't. I won't purchase anything 30 super carry. I know a lot of people, even buddies of mine, want to do it for reviews and stuff like that. It just doesn't interest me. So, and if you want it and if you're excited about it, that's cool. I mean, like I said, that's why it's America. We've all got choices. Moses Ramirez, any Microtech knives in your collection? Actually, I don't have any. I've got some nice knives. I'm not too big of a knife snob. And I'm not saying if you want a Microtech, you're a knife snob. I'm not meaning it like that. It's just, they all cut, they all poke. Out the front knife, is really cool. I'm not saying they're not worth it. It's just nothing that I want to collect. I've got, I don't know, 30 or 40 knives. I think my most expensive knife is probably like $300. Most of my expensive knives are fixed blades. But, for just opening boxes and doing my everyday life and something to carry on me, I just carry like, $100 knives. Sometimes some of them are even like $40. Oh, let me catch back up. Let's see here. I also heard Staccato is changing the grip texture on the 2022 line. Actually, I think they're only changing it on 2 so far, 2 models. I think it is the XL and the XC. Now, I'm sure there's going to be more coming down the road, but so far they're only changing it on those 2, supposedly. So, could be more, but I know those are the 2 that are coming out first. Just received this email tonight. Let 1776 know Caracol USA partnered with William J. Gartman and Associates and JES Marketing for nationwide sales representation. Okay, well, like I said, if they ever come out with that gun, then there you go. Thoughts on the Canik SPX Rival and the Canik Micro Red Dot? Canik pistols are not bad pistols. They're really not. They actually work very well. It's just not my gig, and I've actually owned a Canik pistol. I owned the, SFX, I believe. It was a good shooter. Didn't really have any problems with it. They're just really not for me. They do have nice triggers. And the little the Canik Micro Red Dot, I wish they would have went with a larger dot. The micros really belong on a single stack pistol or a narrow slide pistol. I think they had enough room to put a larger dot on it personally, but it is what it is. And I mean, if somebody wants one, get it. 38 Super already exists and it's a great fighting cartridge. Yeah, 38 Super is not a joke. That's a really good round. Been around forever. What's up with carjacking? Supposedly there is a lot of carjacking going on in Philly. I think Los Angeles and stuff like that. So they're putting all these posters around that said, here's what you should do during a carjacking. I'm like, seriously? You should be able to arm yourself and defend yourself is what you should be able to do. putting up a banner talking about it. It's horseshit. Yep, I agree, Fussfort. We do not need new cartridges. We need ammo for what we have. I agree. All right, and I don't know if y'all saw it, the Kel-Tec P15. I've already had people ask me about that. They have a polymer version and an alloy version. It's small, supposed to be like the 365, but hold 15 rounds. Excuse me, but hold 15 rounds. It has some kind of weird grip safety. It's not like a 1911. It's just like a little weird plunger that sticks out of the back. But um, if anybody's interested in that, it kind of looks cool from the pictures, but it's not anything that I would personally buy. I don't have any interest in it, but I'm sure it's probably going to have a lot of people buying it to review it. Way, way, way back in the day, I can't even remember the number of the gun. It wasn't mine. It was a buddy of mine's, but it was the Kel-Tec. It was the real small 9mm P whatever. Y'all probably know. But I shot that thing and it was a piece of shit. It would hardly function. I mean, it was horrible trigger. I'm sure they've gotten much, much better. But I just don't have any interest in it personally. A really small gun with 15 rounds, that's cool. But, and I kind of feel the same way. It's a Kel-Tec, don't buy it. I've just, ever since that gun, it just really, really put a bad taste in my mouth. And it wasn't even my gun. Matter of fact, I think as I was shooting it, I shot it and it kept malfunctioning. I mean, I don't even think I could get through a regular mag. I unloaded it at the range, put it in a little bag, one of my little gun bags, and I walked over to the trash can and threw it in the trash can. There wasn't anything in the trash can. I was just jacking with my buddy. I said, "This is where this gun belongs." He got all pissed off, but he later laughed about it. Hello, Insight Freedom. How are you? Also, just an update on the Trijicon SRO. If y'all don't know, and I haven't done a video on it. If y'all don't know, I did have a Trijicon SRO, my 5 MOA dot, do some weird shit on me. It's the one that was on the Shadow 2. Basically went and shot it. Everything was great. Put it in the safe. It sat there for, I don't know, 2 months sideways, maybe not even 2 months. Took it out, threw it up there, and the dot was like in the far right top corner. And I'm like, what the hell? That's weird. Tried to adjust it, and basically I couldn't raise it up anymore. So I contacted Trijicon. It was still under warranty. They said send it in. So I sent it in. They've had it. I sent it off on January 6th. That following Wednesday, they did send me a thing saying, hey, we've got it. We'll update you as soon as possible. Well, I didn't hear anything from them. So I called the other day, just said, hey, just trying to get a heads up, and they said, we're running about 8 weeks behind. As soon as we have it checked out, we'll email and let you know. We're going to get it taken care of you, whatever we got to do, fix it, replace it, whatever. And I said, oh, that's cool. I was just trying to get some sort of an ETA. So once it was received there, they're telling me it's about an 8-week lead time. So that's kind of where I am with that one right now. So just want to keep you all updated, in case anybody's curious. And I still love the SRO. Don't get me wrong. Still love it. That's just the first time I've had a problem with an SRO. So I wanted y'all to be aware of it. Have a good one, Fussfork. Yes, this train robbing crap is out of control. Oh my God, all these packages and stuff. It's like they just pull up, break the locks off, and start throwing shit out and robbing these trains. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I mean, people have lost their damn mind. And for one, I can't believe they don't have security there, armed security. That's basically looting and theft. And it's against one of the laws. It has to do something with railroad, like train robbing or something. It's actually a federal crime, I believe, because a lot of that is mail. So they're actually robbing packages where the post office gets involved, and that's a federal offense. So they need to get that shit squared away quick. Yeah, Bald. I had those 2 Delta Point Pros that went down. I still have one more, but I had two of them go down. One I got back, it was fixed. I ended up selling it used, and then the other one they couldn't fix it, so they sent me a new one, all wrapped up in a box, and I sold it immediately. I haven't shot my Delta Point Pro in quite a while. Probably need to pull it out and check it out, and see if it's working correctly. Hell, the battery might be dead in it. I haven't shot it in forever. Ghetto goblins. Yeah, that's about right, man. It's crazy. Well, if it does take 8 weeks, it does. I mean, I didn't tell them anything. I'm not anybody. I didn't act like I was special. I didn't say, hey, I'll go to YouTube channel. I didn't do that shit. I'm just a normal guy, just like everybody else. So I can wait my turn. So I don't pull that shit. Big Johnson Guns and Gear 507C. Yes, it is the RMR footprint. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. And I do have, I think I've got and I'm not joking around, I have over 10 507s. Keith Gregory, hey Big J, how are you feeling? Still feel kind of crummy. I mean, I'm better than I was before, but it's not fun. So, but I'm pressing through. Yeah, whatever happened to the gunfighters? Back in the day that would ride on the trains. Um, they need some of those guys. Let's see here. Yeah, if y'all have any other questions, I think the Magpul little flip AR-15 little flip open door that you can just snap in there and you don't need any specialty tools. I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's $15. Like if you wanted to change the color or throw a really quick one on there, I think that's a good option. So speaking of trains, there's one coming by that's way back in that back field back there. Yeah, but if you're robbing a train, you got some problems. I mean, they could fix all that crap quick. That whole open area right there, people have to drive vehicles in there. They could set that up and block it off so people couldn't get vehicles back there. And most thieves are lazy. They're not going to walk out with packages, half a mile. So let's see. Rockcock 08, which Holosun model would you recommend for the first pistol micro dot, red dot? What I would recommend, it's sold through Primary Arms, and it is the Holosun 507C Vulcan reticle. And what it is it has a large circle. I think it's like 100 MOA circle. And, then you have a chevron, so you don't have a dot. So it's a chevron. And basically what you do is when you throw that pistol out there, if you're not used to red dots, wherever the circle is, it will actually automatically tell your brain to pull it up, pull it down, pull it left, pull it right, so you can center that chevron. I think it's a really good dot for new shooters. And the neat thing is, after you get better, you can actually just hit the minus button and hold it down, and it will turn the 100 MOA circle off, so you will just have the chevron. So, and with my stigmatism, that really is still very clear. It doesn't bloom on me, so that's a good option, I believe. It's kind of like a red dot with training wheels, I guess you could say. But that's what I would recommend. And if you want to just get a regular 507, you could, because it gives you the 32 MOA circle, and then the 32 MOA circle with the dot, and then just a 2 MOA dot. But I really do like that Primary Arms quite a bit. KO is saying, I'm thinking of getting a custom built 2011 Recon frame and Commander slide, but I found out that caps and frames only work with MBX mags, cries, and $120 for one mag. Yeah, they're not cheap. They run great. Matter of fact, I bet you could run the new Atlas mags with that. They're kind of built on the same footprint as the MBX mags, the thickness and everything, and they're made by Atlas Gunworks. And I think they're like $70, $80. So they are cheaper. But yeah, I mean, when you get into custom built, you know, some of them do require those mags. That's why on that MPA, I was really thankful that it did take the Staccato mags and the MBX mags. Now it runs them both perfectly. So super, super excited about that. So I also do have something coming for that gun. I think y'all will be, I wasn't even aware that it was even available, but it is. So I've got something coming for that gun. Should have it in a couple of days, but it won't happen until I get better. So, I mean, 100% better. Yeah, Ball's right. I mean, custom is custom. You know, there's no shortcutting a lot of those. I mean, I'm really loving the 2011 platform. You know, glad that I gave it another go. You know, a lot of people have asked, you know, why. You know, I've said before that I was a 1911 guy from way back, carried them forever. You know, really glad to have 2011s, and I'm not knocking any other guns, but you know, if you think about it, a lot of people buy polymer frame guns and then they'll put comps on it. They'll put, you know, really nice triggers in it. They'll put an RMR on it. They'll put, you know, all of this other stuff. And you might spend, you know, $2,000 on a Glock or, you know, something comparable to a Glock. But it's still, I don't care how hard you try, it will still never equal a 1911/2011 trigger. I don't care what you do. You can have a really nice trigger, but it's not going to be a straight back pull trigger like a 2011 or 1911. So that is another reason I've got all the custom Glocks. I've got all that stuff. But, you know, I'm really, really enjoying the 2011s. So, and if you haven't shot one, maybe you want to go rent one and just try it. You know, I'm not saying if you don't have a 2011, you're dumb. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't knock it till you try it. Oh. Anything else that y'all saw? Any SHOT Show videos or anything that y'all are super excited about, or any questions you might have? I did get some base plates in. Actually, one of my YouTube brothers hooked me up to try them. If you can see them. And they're for 2011. And I can tell you I don't like them. So, and what I'll do is I'll show a picture. I got a bunch of different colors. We'll use this one for an example. Okay. 2011 mag. What do you see that's missing? I want y'all to guess. What's missing? Yeah, there's like, I think there's like 6, 8, 10. There's like 10 or 12 of them in there. Hello, Red Menace. How are you? Detent screw, spring. Dan is saying a spring. Red Menace is saying a detent screw. They actually do have a screw in them. I don't know if you could see it very well. I'll try to get one where it shows the screw. There's the screw right there. So it does have the screw in it, and it does go all the way through. Right there. Something else that's missing, it's really obvious. Bing, 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 bing. Guy comment. Drain hole, it's really a push hole. So when you want to push it to take the base plate off and pull your spring out to clean it or whatever, or of course drain, you do have that function. So, but with these, what you have to do is you have to take your little plate that comes on your 2011 mags, you have to take your plate off, and the spring just goes all the way down to the bottom of the base plate. Well, when you want to take it off and clean it, it's a freaking pain in the ass to get it apart, because then you're binding the spring trying to pull it apart. So I experienced that right off the bat. I put one on to test it, and I was like, holy shit. I mean, I thought I was going to break the damn spring to get it apart. So there you go. Yeah, inside it is missing a magazine. Not orange enough. I love my orange, man. Orange is a color of purity. Shit, this is the first drink I've had since last Wednesday. Definitely not drinking a lot because I'm on all kinds of medicine. Sees the emblem. Yeah, no, it's missing the hole in the bottom for the push out. Not new, but the Manus Blackbeard for ARs looks interesting. Auto reset makes multiple shots possible. Yeah, I mean, Manus makes really great stuff. I have not tried the Blackbeard. They offered to send me one, but I was just like, you know. So, I mean, hell, I probably should have tested it, but I know there's a lot of reviews out there on it, and I'm sure it's a great piece of equipment. I just didn't have any personal interest in it. But cheers, Dan. Yeah, I should have said cheers. Sorry about that. But yeah, as far as SHOT Show, I'm not seeing anything that's just, I mean, it's just, you know, like fluffing my feathers up. And I know a lot of people didn't show this year, you know, because of the jab and the vid and all that other stuff. So, you know, I'm just not really seeing a lot of stuff that's super, super exciting. I did see one thing. I don't know what the hell the name of that was. If y'all want to see it, James Yeager put it on his channel. But if it's this guy that has this pad, and it goes under your forearm and here, and then it has a pack that you wear, and he can control your arm. So this guy was just standing there, and he pushed a button, and his arm flew up, and then his arm went out. And it's basically for training a person if you lose function of your shooting arm, how you could manipulate with your other arm. But I mean, it controls all your nerves. Like, this guy could have slapped himself in the damn face with that guy pushing the buttons. It was really crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So, you know, I forwarded it out to a bunch of buddies and said, check this damn thing out. But if you want to see it, it's on James Yeager's channel. No, that's what we were talking about earlier. All the high powers not doing it for you. Not really. Because if it's a high power, you know, I would want it optic ready right off the bat. You know, I'm not saying it's not cool. It's just, you know, kind of been there and done that. So I would want even a more modernized version of the FN with the optic ready. That's just me personally. I mean, I'm sure they're great guns. I mean, hell, I love my old one, but the FN one, they definitely modernized it. But yeah, that's true. Who knows what's going to happen after all these jabs and stuff people have gotten. I think most of the manufacturers have been selling everything they can for so damn long that innovation has been pretty scarce. Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, like some new companies coming out with dots and stuff like that. Or they, you know, the best thing since sliced bread. We don't know that yet. The Acro P2 with the better battery does definitely have my interest. I might be getting one of those. I don't really have a gun milled for it. However, I could get a plate, you know, for the Staccatos. They do make one for the Aimpoint Pro, or excuse me, for the Acro. But you know, I think that's a pretty cool option, totally enclosed. But you know, who knows when they're officially going to be here. Gerson released a railed one with optics ready on the way, supposedly. Oh, cool. Well, that's a good option. Yeah, Insight Freedom, that's what we kind of talked about. These days on all these new guns they're coming out with, they need to make them optic ready out of the box. Um, for one, it would change, it would be a lot easier on manufacturing. I've talked about that before. You wouldn't have multiple SKU numbers. You would just have a one gun and it would be optic ready. So for parts and SKUs and all that, and even manufacturing, it would make it so much easier. Actually, it would be more profitable to make everything optic ready right off the bat. Because you've got the slide right there ready to mill. You can just cut an optic in it, be done with it. But what about, whatever. IBG, yes, sir, I did. I think it's going to be pretty cool. We just got to see how it's going to go. Hello, Floridian. How are you, man? Glad you could show up. Also, I wanted to talk about this. A lot of people have asked, and I always used to joke around about it, like, oh, I've got 3 or 4 thumbs down or whatever before the video even starts. I don't think they should have taken the thumbs down away. I think it's stupid. I think they should have kept it. I mean, if people want to leave a thumbs down, leave a thumb down. Thumbs down. It still counts as an interaction. We all know why they did it. I think it's just a piss poor thing of why they did it. But I think they should have kept it. So, not that I enjoy thumbs down, but I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So, it is what it is. But I see where Holosun threw their hat in the game with the weapons light. Yeah, I thought that was a laser. I didn't think it was a light. I think it's a laser. It would have been better if they would have made like a light laser combo, but I think that is only a laser. So I think they shouldn't have made that. And it's not IR, so people with nods. I just think it probably would have been better. And I guess they're doing 2 versions: a polymer version and an aluminum version. But it is what it is. Yes, is saying I too am interested in the Eotech red dot. I don't like the design of the Trijicon RMR and want something American made. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a cool option. We'll just have to see how it pans out. Speaking of thumbs down, 52 watching and 29 thumbs up. What the heck? Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, if y'all want, hit the thumbs up. I don't know if y'all heard this, but also Surefire is actually coming out with a new weapon light. I'm not about a pistol light. I think it might just be a rifle light, but it's supposed to have a lot more lumens and candela and all this other stuff. So, maybe they're upping their game also. And I don't know when it's supposed to come, but I did hear that it's coming. Still waiting for Holosun reverse engineering NVGs based on the stock we left in Afghanistan. Hell, they probably already have them over there. Hey, Dave Gass, how are you, man? Opinion on X5 Legion. I mean, I think it's a really good gun. The newer X5 Legion with the tungsten infused frame is much better than the original Legion, I believe. Uh, with the slide reciprocation, the only thing I notice, and this is just me, and I key in on these things, I come from a golf background, so I'm a big feel player in golf. So when I shoot a pistol, I'm all about feel. But I can feel the bucking sensation that the X5 has, or that a lot of the SIGs have. It's not as bad on the X5 Tungsten Legion. It's much worse on the original Legion. They're just not really for me. I've owned the original Legion, not the Tungsten, but they just don't do a lot for me. I've even put the better triggers in it, and it's still not exactly what I've expected. I think it's a great option if that's what somebody wants to get into for a really good price. Like in the carry optic game, I think it has a lot to offer. It's just not really for me. And if you have one or you like one or any of that, I'm not hating on your gun. It's just different strokes for different folks. I'm just not a huge fan of them personally. Nothing wrong with them. I'm just not a fan. Opinion on XC compact versus G45. I mean, they're both really good guns. Out of those two, I would probably want the XC just because it's longer grip. But I could run a G45 with an extension. And I mean, you've got the Glock commonality with mags and things like that. So, I mean, I really enjoy my 19X as far as a Glock, and actually shoot it better than a SIG. Just personal opinion. And I don't even like Glocks, but you know, there you go. What are your thoughts on the current production of the Smith & Wesson 686? I mean, revolvers are cool. I'm just not a revolver guy. I own 3 of them, but I just don't really shoot them a lot. So if that's what you're into, cool. I just think with modern striker fire or semi-automatic guns, there's better choices out there. And plus, the grip is very small for me. So I just can't get a super great purchase on it. But if you like revolvers, I think it's a really good option. It's just not for me. Anytime, Dave Gass. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, we're getting, like 15 minutes away. If y'all have anything else, we'll talk about it. I'll be glad when I get over this crap. Let's see here. Christopher is asking, what do you think of a 10 millimeter and 308 combo? Hello, Christopher. I'm not really the biggest 10 millimeter fan. I've shot a lot of them. I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just not a super common caliber. And what I mean by common, a lot of people kind of get this, freaked out because they're like, I can't believe you don't like 10 millimeter. Okay, when I load up on a round, I load up on a round. I don't just buy 10 or 12 boxes. I buy thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds. Well, 10 millimeter is just not reasonable for me. However, I'm a huge 308 fan. So I do love 308. It's much more common than 6.5 with all this ammo crunch and stuff like that. A lot of 6.5, or excuse me, a lot of 308 was still laying around. 6.5 was non-existent in my area. But I have been a 308 fan for a long time. I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds of it. So when I decide to load up on a caliber, that is what I do. My calibers of choice are 22, 12 gauge, 308, 300 blackout, 9 millimeter. Let's see if I have anything. 45. I have plenty of those rounds. So that is an investment. A lot of people with 10 millimeter, they'll buy the 10 millimeter pistol and they'll have 6 boxes of ammo. That's not a stockpile. So if something happened, that's probably not going to be the gun that you're going to go to war with. So, I'm just using that term, but that's not going to be your choice that you're going to run out into the world and, try to save yourself with. So just my opinion. Oh, and also 5.56, 223. I've got tons of it. However, I do prefer 300 blackout over 5.56 and 223. What is your favorite competition gun? Probably my Shadow 2. I really do love that Shadow 2. It's got a great double action, single action trigger. It's not stock. It's got the Apex trigger. It's got springs. It's got extended firing pin. Lock grips, the brass grips. It's of course optic. It's been milled for an optic. I really, really do love that gun. The double action, a lot of people say, oh, the double action's heavy. My double action is like 5 pounds. My single action, and I've got videos on it, my double action or single action is like 3 pounds. 3.2 pounds or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. So, and it has really good weight. You can also put a light on it. Now, of course, I do love my Staccato P and my C2, but as far as a competition gun, probably, optic ready would be the Shadow 2. As a CZ fan, what are your thoughts on a Scorpion versus AR-15 of a comparable price? Honestly, and I've said this before, I've owned a Scorpion and I own a AR-15 9mm. I would go with the AR-15 9mm all day long because the Scorpion has the big block blowback. So, and I'm not recoil sensitive, but you do feel that block slamming back and forth. And on your AR-15 blowback setups, most of them take Glock mags, which are more compatible. It also gives you the same, like AR-15 setup for training. So when you're shooting your 9mm, it's also like you're shooting your AR-15 300 blackout /308. So it definitely has a training similarity there, or even like my M&P 1522. So that's, I would choose the AR-15, of course, blowback. And there's tons of options out there. Big Johnson Guns and Gear out the front, knives legal in Texas. Hell yeah. What's not legal in Texas? Wow. Your budget is $1,000. What would be the best pistol and micro red dot combo? Ooh. Out of the box, and I mean, if you're wanting budget, I would probably say the Canik, just because you can get a lot of bang for the buck. Other than that, probably like a SIG, maybe not a Legion, but you could get another option with the dot. Or, and I'll just tell you this, and I love mine. I've got the CZ P10F, and I have the Holosun 507C on it. The gun with the dot was like $489, or excuse me, the gun optic ready version, I got it way back when, it was like $489. The plate was like $40, and the Holosun was, I don't know, 300 and something bucks. So I was actually under $1,000, and that gun will do anything that, and I've shot it against a SIG Legion, I've shot it against other guns. It has a really good factory trigger. I actually think the P10F has a better trigger than the SIG, and I will put money on that. I've pulled both the gauges, and out of the box, and even with wear on it, it's a cleaner break and has a better reset. You don't have the longer reset. Even with like a Apex tricked out trigger, the P10F is still better. So for the money, I would buy the P10F, the Holosun, and I'd get some ammo. That's my choice. Because I look at it this way, and I kind of knew where he was going. CCW, HD, competition, the P10F, you could shoot it in all of those. You could use it for home defense. I've carried it many, many times. I even shot it in competition, shot it with Humble, and the gun shoots great. So the P10F will do everything you want it to do. BJ, what's your thoughts on AR-15 for home defense? If you do not have a suppressor, it's loud as shit. I've shot an AR-15 in a home before, now not like my home, an abandoned home, and it's loud as hell. So the suppressor does help, but it still doesn't make it super quiet. And I talked about this before. I mean, even an AR-9 with a light and everything is a really good option. Still gives you multiple points of contact. You're going to hit what you want. You put red dots on both. The AR-15 is super, super loud. I mean, even with a suppressor, it's loud. So, you could even go with the 300 blackout with subs, or a 300 blackout with supers, and it's still quieter than an AR-15. I think you would be over, Dennis. I think with Shadow Systems and a Holosun, I think you would be over $1,000. I think you would. But I mean, the Shadow Systems is a great gun. I have never shot one, but I have finger banged many of them. And I don't know if y'all saw this. Shadow System actually has a new gun that came out with a comp. So it's got a comp built into it, kind of like an island barrel. That looked kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, IBG's right. The P10F. If you don't want the P10F, which is the bigger frame, you can get the P10C if it fits your hands better. I mean, I don't advertise this a whole lot, but that is my backup home defense gun is a P10C with an X300 on it and a Holosun. And of course, my C2 is my main. But yeah, I mean, it's really it comes down to I can tell you one thing or just an opinion. Somebody else is going to tell you it's the Bible. It really comes down to what fits your hand the best, which you shoot the best. I always recommend going and trying these guns, maybe renting them, shooting them, or if you have a friend that has one. I've let tons of friends and people new to guns shoot my guns, not telling them what to buy, just seeing which ones fit their hand the best, which ones they shoot the best. Um, you know, that's kind of like, going for a used car or something. Just try different stuff out. I see a lot of people just go in, somebody will be like, oh, you need a Glock 19. But they don't look at the guy's hand size. It might be XXL like mine. So every time he changes the mag, it pinches the shit out of his hand. It might be weird grip angle. He might not be used to it. There's just a lot of variables there. Yeah, I agree with you, Bald. The P10C, and that's the thing when you're shooting optic ready, it doesn't matter about the sight radius. So Bald is 100% correct. I was just saying, like, if you wanted a duty gun, a lot of people think they need a bigger gun. The P10F would fit more of that role, but the P10C is perfect. Matter of fact, I have two P10Cs. One has a comp on it, threaded barrel and a comp, and then the other one is a P10F. So I really like the P10C and P10F. So that's just my opinion. Now I don't go for the S and all that other stupid shit. And if you have an S, I'm not meaning stupid shit. I'm just meaning they just doesn't fit my hand. Oh, wow. Holster recommendations for IWI Masada. Man, you've got me. I would probably just Google it. I really don't know of a lot of people that make those. I'm pretty sure Harry doesn't. You could check, but I do not really know. Sorry, I haven't really kept up a lot with holsters for those. Yeah, I mean, I just, I'm a big proponent of trying guns to see what you like. I see it a long time ago. Oh, my friend told me to get this gun, and I got this gun, and I shot it for a while, and I just never gelled with it. So I sold that gun, and I went and bought another gun. I didn't really gel with that gun. You know, if you're not sure, for one, you can go in and put your hands on it. You can, check the triggers with just dry firing and stuff like that. However, it's different when you shoot a gun. So some of the triggers have these weird false resets and all these weird feelings, and it feels kind of gritty, but then when you shoot it, it's better. So I always recommend to rent guns. I know, gosh, my TGE has, God, they've got like 100+ pistols you can rent, high end all the way to low end. So you can go in and rent them and try them out, see what you think, and you might video them, like slow motion them, check the recoil, check your grip. One grip might fit your hand better than another one. There's so many variables there, especially for new shooters, or someone new to a certain platform. Uh, Big Johnson Guns and Gear, which Olight is your favorite? None. Probably the two that I blew up. Those are probably my favorite. The two that took a shit on me. One of them really quick. So You should know better than that with me. And I'm not trying to be a hater. Most people, and if you've watched my videos in the past, most people will just leave a light on their gun. Whoa. Most people just leave a light on their gun and it just sits there, or they shoot it at the range. But if you watch a lot of my older videos, I would actually, pull up the gun, bang, bang, bang with the light on, and then I would slam it on the table. I'm trying to kind of recreate a drop or something like that, to see if they're going to flicker or if the switch is going to go off and shit like that. A lot of them, I put them on 12 gauge shotguns with buckshot, just to see if they're going to blow out. I've done that with the X300. I've done it with all my Streamlights. I did it with the Olights, and I had 2 of the Olights fail. It was the PL2 Valkyrie. Had that one take a shit, and then the little one that has that weird rail on it, I had that one take a shit. Matter of fact, the rail, just from slamming it down, the rail bent and was just crooked. So most people probably aren't going to do that, but I do that. I mean, everything I've done with all the same lights. So it's not like I'm treating one worse than the other. I mean, if you don't test it, you don't know. So just my opinion. Like I said, not if you love your Olight or whatever, you might just try to slam it around a bit. Or dip it in water. Especially with those rechargeable ones. I've seen a ton of those rust. A buddy of mine has one. It's that rechargeable one, and he carries it. He carried it during the summertime, and I won't tell you his name, but he has a YouTube channel. He carried it during the summertime, and of course you're sweating because he's working outdoors and stuff like that. Where the recharger plate is, where you put that little recharger, it actually had rust all over it. So, I mean, which could, and I asked him if it was giving him problems with contacting for charging, and he said it did at first, but he kind of scrubbed it off with a Scotch-Brite pad, and then it worked. So I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I'm not hating on anybody. And I've said this before. I don't like their guerrilla marketing. Everything's a flash sale. I mean, they would always tell me, "Oh, we're going to pay you for your reviews," and I told them no. I've never been paid by them. I know a lot of people have. I never set up an affiliate link with them because I just didn't feel good about it. I didn't believe in the product enough, so I never set up an affiliate link. And then when I had those 2 fail, I just said, I'm done. I'm not going to set up an affiliate link for something I haven't truly tested, or that hasn't truly passed the test yet. And when they failed, I'm glad I didn't set up an affiliate link. So I never got paid a dime from them. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, watch Works Holster channel. They did awesome extensive testing on a bunch of weapon lights. Great vid. Yeah, he does do really badass videos. I mean, that guy, man, he does great stuff. I've seen some of his videos. Maybe I haven't seen this one that you're talking about, but he does some really legit videos. Dan said he has one Olight, only a house gun on G34, never on my 10 millimeter. Yeah, and like I said, I'm only giving you my experience. I'm not telling you that every one of them are that way. What's up, Channel Cat? How are you, man? Flooding YouTube and social media with obviously paid reviews just comes across as super scummy and unconvincing. GD forbid they actually make a good product, because I won't touch them now. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the guerrilla marketing. They're like, oh, you have to have a review done today. You have to have, I'm like, I haven't even tested it. You just came out with it 2 days ago. I just received it today, and you want me to do a video on it? I haven't even tested it. Why would I do you want me to just open a box and go, hey, here's a light. We went around and around about that shit. I'm just like, I'm not going to recommend anything or even talk about anything that I haven't tested, unless it's like a box opening. And, yeah, what am I going to do? Say, this light lights up, I mean, I haven't checked it. I haven't banged on it. I haven't done anything to it. So I'm just not about that. Yes, Brian T. Sage Dynamic does a good job of beating the shit out of things to see their durability. I agree. I really like Sage Dynamics. Aaron's a really good reviewer. I do trust him. I don't know him personally, but he comes across as a really, trustworthy guy. You know, he's just testing product. He's not married to anybody. I know he has setups with some people, like FN and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't know, and I've said this before, there's some big channels, some small channels. There's a lot of this stuff that I take with a grain of salt. You know, when they have this review that comes out and they're like, oh, look at this, it's awesome. And, you know, it just looks like a paid shill review. I'm just like, yeah, okay. So, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting paid, but it's like everything can't be 100% perfect. There's got to be something wrong with it. So, as long as you're just upfront, tell the truth, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Train accordingly. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:04. We're going to call this a night unless y'all have any real quick ones that I can answer. But I appreciate all y'all so much for the well wishes and stuff. You know, this vid crap does suck. We're going to press on and get through this. I'll be glad when it's over and I can just go back to normal. You know, right now I'm just super, super tired, still have the cough. You know, it's just worn out. So hopefully we'll get over this crap and we can get back to it. I did and I did this for a reason. I'm running the Threat Cadre comp, okay, on my Staccato P. Y'all all know that. Okay, when you put a P or a comp on a Staccato, it slows down the slide. Okay, well, on my P, I have an SRO. Well, the SRO does have an overhang. So you'll notice in one of those videos, and I didn't really see it till it was in slow motion, that one of the casings came up and kind of got jammed under the SRO. Well, it's never done that. Now on my C2, I ran the SRO. It's a shorter frame or shorter slide, so it's moving faster. It's reciprocating faster. So it never, ever did it. Never had a problem with it. But I noticed it after I put the comp on it because it slowed down the slide. What I have since done, and I haven't been able to shoot it, I had ordered the light spring from Dawson Precision. So there's a spring that goes in your recoil, and it's called a light recoil spring. So that's going to speed up the slide. So I'm going to try that just to make sure I don't have any other problems. Now, when you run the run the Threat Cadre comp, if you don't have an SRO with an overhang, you will never have a problem because an RMR, Holosun, all that has the flat front. So anything with an SRO, I just noticed it one time. You can see it on video. It's in slow motion. And I was like, So that's what made me say, you know what? Since I'm running the SRO and the overhang, I probably need to run a lighter spring. So I have put that in there, but I haven't ran it yet. So I cleaned up the gun, put that in there. I'm going to run it with 115, 124, probably in slow motion just to see, you know, how it tracks now. Since the slide is faster, I should not have a problem, but just wanted to let y'all be aware of it. So, but if you have any questions or comments or anything after the chat, please leave them. I'll try to get to them as quick as possible. But I appreciate y'all so much. Have a great night. Everybody stay safe and well and love one another. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on.